Why is investing such a crucial ability? Because it expands your horizons, and most importantly, because it helps you leveraging up your own life possibilities. You see, most people only think about making money when they think about the stock market. But investing is so much more than just making some extra bucks. Investing is actually something metaphysical, and I will soon explain what I mean by this. But let's think about my situation, about my case. I work in Brazil, I live here, but most of my capital is invested abroad, more specifically in the US. And that's something interesting, because while it's not easy at all for me to go to the US and to start living and working there, as it requires me to travel long distances, thousands of miles, and to get a visa. So while that's hard for me to do, on the other hand, it's pretty easy for me to invest in the US, to buy businesses there. The only thing I need is pretty much an international brokerage account, and that's it. I'm ready. So think about it. Even though I am not able to be in the US, like physically, even though I'm not able to be there working, in a certain way, I am already there through the businesses I own, through the stocks I have in my portfolio. And that's why I say the markets are something metaphysical, because they allow me to be in one place even when I cannot be there. And that's such a great jump from our ordinary life possibilities, because if it wasn't for the market's existence, the only way for me to create value would be through my own hands, using my own hands, and using only the knowledge I have in my head and the resources I have around me, which can be pretty limiting. And this was actually the only possibility for humanity during most of our history. And yet we don't realize how lucky we are for having this great tool that is the market, right? The invention of capital markets was such a fundamental step towards progress, But anyway, through the market, I can get bigger than myself. I can reach much farther. After all, money, capital, is an extension of ourselves. So, for example, my biggest position is a microcap company called Voxter, which offers technology to the real estate segment. Now, I'm not a developer. I don't understand anything about technology or about the real estate market. But still, the market allows me to participate of such enterprise. I can still benefit myself enormously if this business goes well, even though I don't have the necessary knowledge to be a part of this company. Now, other people have the knowledge. I don't. Still, I am part of the thing through the shares I own. So now, do you realize, can you see how much the market helps me expand my possibilities and expand my reach beyond just the things I have in front of me? The market also helps me to be less fragile. You see, most people I know don't invest their money, so they depend exclusively on their own hands. They are also very tied to the Brazilian economy. Now, I am also very tied to the Brazilian economy, and that's a problem, right? Because Brazil is not a stable country at all, actually, quite the opposite. So if things get bad here, these people will probably sink with the country. On the other hand, if you have productive assets abroad, if you have businesses in other countries, this may help you keeping your head above water. So that's how, through the market, I can become less fragile. And that's why investing is so much more than just making money. But few people think about the conceptual meanings of being a market participant. Ultimately, the market also gives you something amazing. You see, usually to make money, you need to pull up your sleeves. You need to work, right? The market, on the other hand, gives you the power of making money by just perceiving things. For example, here in Brazil, most people see that things are not going well. They perceive it, they can feel it. Corruption is obvious, it's always on the news, and actually people are used to it. The government keeps spending a lot, and that keeps rising together with inflation. And that's in front of everyone's face. The thing is that you can capitalize on this obvious perception, right? You don't need to only suffer the consequences. Because if you sum 1 plus 1, you may get to the conclusion that the Brazilian real, our national currency, will probably lose its value. We've already changed currency 9 times, for God's sake. So what have I done? I invested on gold. This way I'm exposed to the price of gold and to the price of the dollar at the same time. So the only way for me to lose money on this investment is if the Brazilian real gets really strong, which I think is pretty unlikely to happen. But if this event happens, I will probably benefit from this by being here and by having my salary paid in the national currency, in Brazilian reais. So again, thank God that the market exists, because it allows me, as you can see, to become less fragile. But can you see how a daily perception about the common institutional environment can already make you money, can already generate you money? My position is positive. I am indeed making money only by exploiting a common feeling that everybody knows here in Brazil, that things are not okay, that things are not going well. I didn't move a finger and still I'm making money only by the perception, right? And I think that's just amazing. And that's why investing is such a crucial ability for your life, because it expands your horizons and it expands your possibilities. It helps you leveraging up your own life opportunities. Well, that's it for today. See you next time.